How to get Ecuadorian citizenship by marriage. Today we're diving into a topic that's been highly requested. If you are married to an Ecuadorian or planning to tie the knot with one, this video will walk you through the entire process, step by step. We'll cover the requirements, timelines, documents you'll need, and some practical tips to make it as smooth as possible. So grab a notebook, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's get started. First, let's talk about why Ecuador might be on your radar. It's a beautiful country in South America, known for its stunning landscapes from the Andes Mountains to the Amazon rainforest and the Galapagos Islands. It's also affordable, using the US dollar as its currency, and has a welcoming attitude towards foreigners. For many, marrying an Ecuadorian and gaining citizenship is a way to call this vibrant place home permanently. Plus, Ecuador allows dual citizenship, so you won't have to give up your original nationality in most cases. Though you'll want to check with your home country's rules on that, but for Americans, Canadians, most Europeans, dual citizenship is completely allowed. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The path to Ecuadorian citizenship through marriage falls under a process called naturalization. Specifically, it's naturalization by marriage or common law union. This is a faster track compared to other citizenship routes in Ecuador, and it's governed by the organic law of human mobility along with the 2008 Constitution. Here's how it works. Step 1. You need to be legally married to an Ecuadorian citizen or in a recognized common law union. If you got married in Ecuador, that's straightforward. You'll have a marriage certificate from the Ecuadorian Civil Registry, known as the Registro Civil. If you married abroad, like in the US, Canada, or Europe, you'll need to register that marriage with the Ecuadorian Civil Registry or through an Ecuadorian consulate. This is a critical step because your marriage must be officially recognized in Ecuador for the citizenship process to begin. For marriages abroad, you'll typically need your marriage certificate apostilled or legalized and translated into Spanish by a certified translator. Then submit it to the Registro Civil or the consulate. This can take a few weeks to a couple months depending on where you are and how fast the paperwork moves. Pro tip, double check with the consulate for exact requirements as they can vary slightly depending on the country. If you're in a common law union called a Unión de Hecho in Ecuador, that works too, but it must also be registered with the civil registry. You'll need to prove you've been living together as a couple, usually with documents like joint leases, utility bills, or affidavits, and then formalize it. Either way, marriage or union, this is your foundation. Step 2 is residency. So here's where the marriage perk kicks in. Normally, to apply for Ecuadorian citizenship through naturalization, you need to have been a permanent resident for at least 3 years. But if you're married to an Ecuadorian, that drops to 2 years, provided your marriage or union has been registered with the civil registry for at least 2 years by the time you apply. This is a big deal because it shaves a year off the standard timeline. Let's break that down. So first, you'll need to get a residency visa. If you're married to an Ecuadorian, you can apply for a permanent residency visa under the Amparo category, which is specifically for spouses. To get this visa, you'll need your marriage certificate, your spouse's Ecuadorian ID, the cédula, your passport, a clean criminal record from your home country or where you've lived the past 5 years, and proof of financial stability, like a bank statement or income source. This visa process usually takes 1 to 3 months once your documents are submitted. Once you have that permanent residency visa, the clock starts ticking. you need to live in Ecuador for 2 years as a permanent resident. During this time, you can't be out of the country for more than 180 days per year, about 6 months. If you exceed that, you risk resetting the clock or losing your residency status, so plan your travel carefully. Step 3 is applying for citizenship. After 2 years of permanent residency, and assuming your marriage has been registered for at least 2 years, you're eligible to apply for naturalization. This process is handled by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Human Mobility in Ecuador. You'll need to submit an application called a Carta de Naturalización por Matrimonio, a naturalization letter by marriage. So here's what you'll need to gather: your birth certificate, apostilled or legalized and translated into Spanish, your marriage certificate from the civil registry or proof of your registered common law union. Number 3, your passport, which should have at least 12 months left before it expires. Could be 12, could be 6. Check with the lawyers, but at least 12 months is a very good principle. You'll also need your Ecuadorian cédula, which you get with your residency visa. You'll need a certificate of migratory movements from Ecuador's immigration office showing that you've stayed within the 180-day limit. They might also check the stamps in your passport. You'll also need proof you're up to date on taxes and obligations with the SRI. That's Ecuador's Internal Revenue Service, and your local municipality. You also might need evidence of lawful income, like pay stubs, bank statements, or a pension to show that you can support yourself. There's no set minimum, but it should be above Ecuador's basic salary, currently about $450 a month as of 2025. And if you do not have local source income in Ecuador, there are solutions for that, but it's something that you do want to start preparing in advance. By the way, MyLatinLife is a full-scale immigration consultancy. We can help you get residency and citizenship in Ecuador. There's a link in the description where you can book a call with us. You'll be speaking directly with me, Vance, and we can put together a plan to get Ecuador residency and or citizenship in your hands as quickly as possible. Having a second passport is an incredible thing. Moving on here, you'll also need to attend an interview in Spanish. They'll ask why you want to become an Ecuadorian citizen and test your knowledge of national symbols like the flag, anthem, and coat of arms. It's not a crazy hard test, but you'll want to brush up. If your Spanish isn't fluent, start practicing now. This part's non-negotiable. You want to be at least conversational level in Spanish. Now, once you submit everything, the ministry reviews your application. They'll issue a report within 15 days, and if it's favorable, you'll get a resolution within another week or so. And with that resolution, you head to the civil registry to finalize your citizenship registration. The total processing time, usually 3 to 6 months, depending on how busy they are and how complete your paperwork is. So let's recap the timeline. Step 1 is register your marriage or union, which could take a few weeks to a couple months. Step 2 is get your permanent residency visa, usually takes 1 to 3 months, and then live in Ecuador for 2 years. And then step 3 is apply for citizenship and wait 3 to 6 months for approval. All in, you're looking at about 2.5 to 3 years from start to finish, assuming everything goes smoothly. Now, let's go over the key requirements again. So, be legally married to an Ecuadorian or a registered common law union for at least 2 years. Hold permanent residency for 2 years without leaving Ecuador for more than 180 days annually. Then submit all your documents, apostilled, translated, and complete. Pass the interview and show basic knowledge of Ecuadorian symbols. And prove you've got a stable income. Some tips to make this process easier. Number 1 is hire a lawyer or visa facilitator in Ecuador. They have them all over the country. We have teams in Cuenca, in Quito, along the beach. People who know the system. You don't want to do this by yourself for the first time. These lawyers will save you so many hours. It's crazy. So many headaches. They know the ins and outs, and it's well worth what it'll save you in headaches. Another tip is get your documents ready early. Apostilles and translations take time. If you're abroad, start the marriage registration at the consulate ASAP to get that 2-year clock running. And stay organized. Keep copies of everything. So what do you get out of this? Once you're a citizen, you'll get an Ecuadorian passport and cedula. You can live, work, and vote in Ecuador without any visa hassles. Your passport lets you travel visa-free to most of South America and a handful of other countries. It's a strong passport. Not the strongest globally, but paired with dual citizenship, it's a solid perk. It'll extend your visa-free travel. And Ecuador also has some unaligned countries where you get visa-free access, like China, Russia, Iran. So kind of an interesting passport in that sense. Plus, you're free from residency renewal paperwork forever, and which can be pretty strict in Ecuador. So Ecuador is really one of those countries where you want to get that citizenship. You don't want to be a resident forever because the rules are pretty strict in terms of physical presence. So get that passport and then no more physical presence requirements. One last note, if you're thinking, can I skip residency and go straight to citizenship? The answer is no. In Ecuador, there is a requirement in most cases. But again, book a call with us at MyLatinLife and we can go over your specific situation. We can get all of your burning questions answered, and we can get you and your family Ecuadorian residency and or citizenship. By the way, citizenship by descent is another thing we do. If you have parents or grandparents who were born in Ecuador, you are probably entitled to citizenship. But yeah, that's it. Ecuadorian citizenship by marriage in a nutshell. It's a pretty straightforward process compared to other countries with a shorter timeline and clear requirements. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more immigration guides, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching.